even if it's in your heart, or something He's called you to do, that He wants you to do, and all of a sudden, all heck is breaking loose. That's what this spirit does. Now you know who I'm talking about when I say the spirit of divination and the spirit of python. A lot of times we think, oh, that's that weird, spooky stuff. No, no. This is that same one that tries to show up in your household on Sunday mornings, on Wednesday nights, on Sunday nights. It's the same one that tries to stop what God's got going in your life. It's the same one that tries to stop the Christians from maturing and going on to the deep waters of the Lord. It's the same one that says God doesn't fill people with the Holy Ghost anymore, and He doesn't work miracles anymore, that He only done that to start the church. That's the same demon spirit of divination, python. It doesn't matter if it's set up in an assembly, a church atmosphere, or a synagogue. Remember last week, we found out that the synagogue that Jesus was in wound up being the synagogue of Satan. Yep. And here He is talking, and He's trying to minister to these people, and they're rising up in indignation inside because He just prayed for a woman to be healed that was bound by a spirit of infirmity. The same one that's interwoven with who? The spirit of python and divination. The spirit of python and divination comes forth in philosophies, comes forth in many church teachings, comes forth in many heresies that's given forth. It loves to set itself up front, behind a pulpit, in a synagogue, in a place of authority, and give lies. It will use the truth. Now what she said, these two men are from the Most High God, telling you the way of salvation, trying to use the truth to bait people in, to pay attention, the power of God's truth. Remember, it will not return void. Right. So the enemy tries to use the power of God's truth to get your attention. And once it's got your attention, there are many ministers even now that preach the truth for 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years. With this spirit in them, they're true. And there was people got saved in there. But yet, once he got the attention of 10,000 in the assembly and people worldwide by TV, what did it start doing? It started twisting the truth. What did John Hagee do? He just said that Jesus did not come to be the Messiah. He wrote a book and he called The Defense of Israel. Man's got 10,000 people strong. He preached the truth for a long time. Preached it with charismatic. He was strong in it, boy. Charismatic. He was very charismatic. I like John Hagee, but when he said Jesus did not come to be the Messiah and did not come to be the Jews' Messiah, that he never claimed to be the Jews' Messiah, I call him a liar. And he's of the spirit of divination and the spirit of python. He's not the only one. I'm just saying he used the platform to gain the attention. What do you think she was doing? She already had these people trusting in her words because they were paying big money for her prophecies. But when this new thing come in town, she said, I got to put myself up front and get on this platform that they're on because I see some power here. You see what I'm saying? Who else did that? Was it Simon the Sorcerer? Woo! I want this gift also. Let me buy this gift. Give me too this gift. But his heart wasn't right in it. Right? Here she comes. These spirits are in people. Literally. And what was he into? He was a sorcerer. He was the same spirit. Right. That's what she was doing. She seen Paul and Silas come in town. That demon recognized the power and authority on their lives, recognized the truth that they were given, and come up, and the first thing he wanted to do is gain the platform, bewitch the people, and quench the vision inside of Paul's heart. Sounds strange, don't it? I promise you, that's what he gave right back there when I prayed. I had a whole nother sermon, but it's true. That's exactly what this thing is trying to do to each and every one of us. Have you felt sometimes like it's never going to come to pass what the Lord's called you to do? Amen. Yes. Like, I just don't know, Lord. This seems impossible. This seems like an impossible situation. Paul actually had something else on his heart, was going to go somewhere else, but boom. This man appeared to him and says, come help us. There are things that God has for each and every one of us that He's called us from birth to do. But the enemy has quenched and grieved and shut it off by the same spirit. The spirit of divination and python. Well, it doesn't only work through philosophies, heresies, and with the spirit of religion, but it also works through Ouija boards, horoscopes, fortune tellers. let me see how that affects us. Go with me real fast to 1 Samuel. 1 Samuel 28. Page 519. Because many people think there's no harm done. It's my life. It's just me. It's not going to affect my children. It's not going to affect my family. It's not going to affect no one else but me if I choose to just play with this little magic every time again. And look at a horoscope or go to a fortune teller and give her a palm reader. We got them in this town too. See, we got one in the crowd that's done that before. He just admitted it. He can repent later. But people go to these places. I've had family members go to these places, and now they've tossed. They gone. I mean, really gone. Into witchcraft for real. Yep, very close ones. Starting with verse 3. Now, what's happened to Saul is he's already in the spirit of rebellion and stubbornness, which is as the sin of witchcraft, which is as the sin of witchcraft. So guess what happens? He goes on into witchcraft. Since he's in rebellion and he will not listen to the word of the living God that has come forth, he's rejected the word of the living God. So Samuel told him, Saul, God has rejected you because you rejected his word. You won't listen. You won't obey his word. To obey is better than sacrifice. You're bringing all this religious activity, but you won't listen. That's what he was doing. Well, we disobeyed your word so we can come praise you. And we offered bullocks unto you. So we brought the animals back so we can offer you up sacrifice. That's what he was telling them. He said, man, I told you to get rid of all of them. Right. Sounds cruel, but he was told to kill the whole camp.
That's right.
The whole camp that he went into, he was supposed to kill men, women, children, and all the animals. Why? Why would God do something like that? And why would the History Channel show it vividly? And people not understand what that is. Oh my goodness, it's horrible. Because there comes a time when a culture, a nation, a people, a city, or whatever gets so full of demon spirits. These people were worshiping false gods, offering their children up to Molech, burning them in the fire, and demons had come into the whole camp. And before the cross of Christ, before the blood was applied to the mercy seat, there was no deliverance for no demon activity. It's kind of like, for instance, before man's modern technology and science, and there's still sometimes it don't work, but when you get an infection in the foot and you got sugar diabetes or whatever, and it starts getting black and starts coming up the leg, they're going to take that thing off, that infection out. They're going to take the leg off right here to save the body. That's exactly what God was doing, taking that part out of humanity to save the corruption. That's why he said, don't bring them back into your camp.